touched by you. There could have been so much more happiness you could have felt, but you didn't because you let stress push you down instead of looking at it and pushing through. Open your eyes. I want you to picture that every time you feel stressed out and go, okay, I'm going to push through this because I know that those goals and those dreams, they're not going with me. They are going to impact people out there. And turn, look, and push through it so that the stress goes away. Does that make sense to everybody? And the last thing is this. Last tip is this I have for you that's been helping me quite a bit. Good old plain faith. Right? Faith that God has got you in a position and you wouldn't be where you were unless he thought you could handle it. And you're there because he's trying to shape you for something. See, what I believe and what's gotten me through is the fact that we're on a ladder, right? We're on a ladder trying to climb to the top. Whatever our goals, whatever our desires, whatever our success is, we're on a ladder climbing to the top. And along the way, we could miss a rung of development in ourselves. And guess what God's going to do? He's going to give you that rung over and over and over until you self-develop and sharpen your skills. So I look at the fact that, you know what, at the end of 2013 and beginning of 2014, I was almost out of business, struggling to pay overhead, struggling to make it look as if nothing had changed in here, and hopefully I did a great job, struggling to get great team members. And then I just said one day, you know what, I looked back when I was struggling back when I graduated school, and you know what, I hadn't developed skills that I needed to develop then that I needed to develop now, so I missed the rung, and guess what God did? Put me back in the position to develop that skill so that I could be better for myself, but be better not only for myself, but be better for you. So I can come into a class and teach about simple supplements, teach about holistic living, teach about reducing stress, teach about balancing hormones naturally, teach about healthy habits for the holidays, teach about goal setting so that I can achieve what I was meant to achieve because God had a purpose for me. So sometimes you just need to sit down and go, you know what? I got faith that God's going to get me through this, and I'm in this for a reason. And the reason I'm in this for, I might not know, but if I give up, I'll never know. But if I continue to push through, something greater is going to happen for the world through me. So I'm going to finish this part with a quote that I thought was absolutely fantastic. Let me finish with a quote here. God does not begin by asking us about our ability, but only about our availability. And if we then prove our dependability, he will increase our capability. Right? So you missed the rung, he's going to get you. You're going to have to learn something, and when you learn it, the world is going to be that much better of a place. So I've got a couple references. There's 2 different books that I utilize on a daily basis amongst many, but this has been fantastic for me. It's by Dale Carnegie, over 30 million copies sold. It's unbelievable. How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's going to help you learn about yourself, and it's going to help you learn about others and how to actually stress less when you're trying to handle situations in job or at home with your spouse or others and can't figure out why there's constant tension and stress. It's going to help you figure that out. And then the second book, this happens to be a 2-in-1, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you listening. Hopefully you're able to get you a couple simple things that can actually motivate and help you with some stress. So let's go 30 minutes of questions. Here we go. Any questions?
Could you repeat that quote?
Any questions? Oh, the quote. Neil Maxwell said this: God does not begin by asking us about our ability, but only about our availability. And if we then prove our dependability, he will increase our capability. So I'm not just your chiropractor. I'm working feverishly to become a better person so I can be well-rounded for my team, for you guys. So if you got anything come up, I can be your source to get there.
Thank you.
Any questions? You're welcome. Any questions? Going once. Any questions? Going
Okay,
twice.
how do you deal with the stress when you see your spouse stressed about situations that he can't control?
Right. So,
It makes me stressed because he's stressed.
right. What I'm going to recommend is a couple things. Number one, I'm going to recommend you actually get the book. I'm not kidding. I recommend especially this one, how to win friends and influence people.
Okay.
So the number one thing it'll do is help you learn how to understand it from his point of view, and then how to actually communicate better. I'm doing this all the time. I'm doing this all the time with myself and with my team. I'll tell you one thing. My relationship with my spouse in the last 6 months has improved greatly because of the techniques I've learned. So I would recommend getting the book. I'd recommend a principle, number 17, of seeing it through their eyes.
Okay.
So you want to go in and go, you're stressing me out because you're stressed out. I can't take this. And you want to argue and fight. And what we really want to do is go, okay, look, he's getting stressed out. How do I support him in this? Hey, Tim, you know what? Is there any way that I can support you in this? What do you need me to do for you? So get rid of your ego, because the first thing you want to do is you want to feel that energy and you want to snap back at somebody. But really you just want to go, Tim, what do I need to do for you? Because guess what? The better you can communicate, the better relationship is going to be, the more he'll turn around and say to you,
Well, see, that's our big thing, communication, because.
that's everybody's big thing.
Well, part of it's because I have bipolar and sometimes my mood stress him on top of all of his own stress. So it's hard because when we discuss, like you said, that sometimes because depending on my mood that day, I snap back. when
Here's
I
a great
should-
thing. You want to know what everyone can do to create less stress in a relationship? Show more appreciation. I started doing that with my wife. It's unreal. Because for years, I was never home. I never had dinner with my family Monday through Thursday night. They never saw me. I get home at almost 9 o'clock at night, eat dinner by myself, go to bed, wake up and do it again. And you know what? I didn't show a huge appreciation. In the last 6 months, you start off with, hey Tim, you know what? I really appreciate the fact that you're going through some crap and you had a bad day yesterday, and you know what? You didn't bring it home to me. Or you know what? You brought it home, but you know what? I appreciate the fact that you're willing to go through that crap for us. So show more appreciation.
Okay,
And that's huge. We told Amanda, right? We said to Amanda, hey, you know what? We had a little chat with Amanda and said, Amanda, you know what? Show Carlos some more appreciation and see what happens. I don't know what happened.
Not good.
Because I've been doing it with my wife. Show more appreciation. Distraction, right? I'm talking to her and I'm going, okay, you know what? I gotta call this patient back. I gotta call him at 9. Yeah, honey, yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, okay, distraction. Put the phone down, because most of you know I'm not here on Tuesdays anymore, because you know what? They deserve me. They deserve me after this long. They finally deserve me. So now I look in the eyes and go, yeah, tell me about your day. Tell me about your day. Man, the fact that you stayed up with the baby last night and I was able to go to the office and be like fresh for patients, I appreciate that. What do you think she's going to do?
Want another baby?
Here's the most amazing thing in the world. She looked at me Sunday. No, Monday. I was home for lunch. She looked at me Monday. Hair frazzled. Hadn't taken a shower in 3 days. Was cooking up a storm on Sunday. And looked at me on Monday because all of a sudden my babies now become my other kids, and none of my other kids ever slept. Didn't take naps. I mean, they were 24-hour babies, and she has become that in the last 3 weeks. We had one thunderstorm, I don't know, maybe about 4.5 weeks ago. Really bad thunderstorm at 3 a.m. My middle son woke up screaming like a little girl going, tornado! He woke everybody up, and she's never slept the same. She's become my other kids. She won't sleep. So my wife is bouncing and doing this and trying to get office stuff done at home and trying to cook and all day long. And I walked in on Monday and she was frazzled, and she looks at me and she goes, I am done. I go, you said this after 3 kids, you sure? She goes, I can't even think straight anymore. I'm done. I said, okay, I'm finally done. So show more appreciation and see from their point of view. Are there any other questions? Go.
This is being recorded. I can show my husband.
You can show your husband. It's being recorded. Go up on Facebook. Have you showed your husband any appreciation lately?
Oh, actually I did yesterday. He was having a very bad business stress, and
How about when he isn't having a bad business stress?
I told him pictures from on the lawn.
Oh, he loves that, I bet. But show more appreciation and see things from other people's point of view if you want to stress less with other people. Huge. Huge. Go
some of the things that I encounter, I guess, from working from home is there's a lot more responsibilities on my plate. My wife works, and it seems to me there's more stress on my plate because I'm not only am I working from home, I'm also getting kids off to school, getting them ready for school, getting them off the bus, getting dinner prepped, watching them while they're playing, and there's always tension, and I have a tough time channeling that.
Sure.
You can move to my house if you do all that.
I do the laundry, and it always seems like it's never enough.
And you've got more. You're trying to balance home life with work life at home, or
Yes.
trying to feel like you're not appreciated.
A little bit of both. I mean,
Okay.
that's the one. We had done some counseling, and the one thing that stood out was you can't allow for the work from home thing to distract and enable.
Sure. That's right. So, and I've exactly gone through this. Right? Okay, so let me tell you, within the last 6 months, you got to lose your ego, and whether you get appreciation right off the bat or not, you've got to start literally finding ways to show appreciation like you used to, before kids, right?
Mhm.
So one of the things I did was, you know what? We had an ordering blender. We ordered these. Now we give out stickers to the kids and suckers to the kids, right? And the patience, I'm well adjusted and all this stuff, right? Well, we had an ordering blender and ordered some stickers that said, "I love you," "I care about you," "I miss you." I'm not really gonna give them to you. So what I did for an entire week was I took these stickers and I would, so like before bed, I'd walk downstairs and I'd tape one to her steering wheel. Or like I put one underneath the pillow. So I start to show more appreciation before she did, and all of a sudden within a month, I didn't ask for anything in return, all of a sudden within a month the appreciation started coming back. And now if I've got to be here on a Tuesday night and there's hockey going on and she's got to drive the kids to the hockey rink and take my son home, now there's no tension anymore because we appreciate each other. Number one, so don't expect anything in return. Okay, that's another principle. Never expect anything in return. Never expect anything in return. What's the saying? Give like you never remember, and receive like you've never forgotten. Make sense? I think I said that right? Give like you give. I'll give it to you next time. Anyway, so you got to start the appreciation first, and I guarantee, regardless of if she's had a bad day, whatever, man, you give that appreciation first, and find ways to give it, simple little ways, and it's even a word like, "Hey, you know what? You're busting your butt." And you're busting your butt, and she might say anything but you, "Hey, you know what, honey, you're busting your butt, and I appreciate that. You know what, you came home early on Friday, and you took the kids, and you allowed me an hour to get some stuff done. That was awesome, thank you." So you start showing appreciation, and all of a sudden it'll turn around. The second thing is I truly understand what home, even though I have an office here, I have an office at home, and when you own a business, it's 24/7. At least that's what I thought until I started using Tyranny of the Urgent. And I said, okay, you've got to, and what I'm gonna tell you is use this, because what'll happen is you will start to, if you sit down and start going, I gotta do this, this, and this, and that's urgent, and you make time for that. Now, you might have to make time before everyone gets up and after everyone goes to bed, which is what I've started to do. You know what, I get up at 5:45 in the morning, and you know what, I don't care if I'm not here on Tuesdays, I'm still up at 5:45. Ask Heather, she goes, "I got an email from you at 4:30 in the morning, do you ever sleep?" You know what, we got things to take care of, we got things to do, so you know what, get up a little bit earlier, and maybe you can get some work done. Go to bed a little bit later, maybe get some work done, and then during those hours, the toughest thing to do is go, I'm playing with you, but my mind is on work, and when I'm on work, my mind is going, I didn't play with you today, because you know what, they're gonna grow up. I don't know, some of you have kids older than mine, right? And all you say is they grow up quicker than you expect, right?
Exactly.
So you might as well enjoy them now, because if you don't enjoy them now, and I work my butt off now to really enjoy my kids. And the truth is, you know what, for years, I was super focused in the office, and I would go home and I'd be super stressed out because there's also a business aspect to this, and I'd be stressed out at home because I got to get this done, that done, that done, and Daddy, can you just let me just do this, and there's that dichotomy. But what you have to do is get up earlier, stay up later, start training yourself to do that. How to train myself? I'm not an early person, but I train myself to do that. I train myself to stay up. Okay, look, I like to go to bed at 9 o'clock. I'm gonna stay up 1 extra hour earlier, go to bed at 10, because in that hour I'll have complete silence. And if I've got my list, I can go boom, 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 boom. And if I know what my distractions are, like, oh, let me just, like, I gotta send out 3 emails. Ooh, well, let me, just this Facebook thing over here. And then, oh, well, look at that website over there. And all of a sudden you're on this path, and it's an hour's gone by. So you have to put the blinders on after and before and get the work done. And then during the day, say, okay, you know what, the kids are at school. I've got, and the other thing is, and I forget the principle, I gotta think of the name of the principle, but there's a principle that says you will complete work in the allotted time you give it. I forget the name of the principle. You will complete work in the allotted time you give it. So you might say, okay, the kids are going to school at 8, and I got 8 to 9 to get laundry done. I got 9 to 10 to get my work done, 10 to 11 to get this done, and then you